Hi, welcome to Pauline Interviews. I'd like you to know first that we're here at the Crystal Crossroads in Newburgh. It's a brand new store, a new place we've been interviewing, and I want to thank D. Ellen Hardy, the proprietor, for letting us use this room here to do our interviews. You might want to stop by sometime if you're in the Newburgh area, Sherwood area. It's not that far. It's in the Fred Meyer parking lot. And she's got all sorts of wonderful crystals and chimes and books. And anyway, it's an amazing place, and I was so excited to discover it right here near where I live. So anyway, I want to thank D. Ellen for letting me use her space. It was very nice of her. And now I want to thank Sharon Lewis, who I interviewed before. And today we have a different topic. It's kind of exciting. It's called What Planet Are You From? Is that right, Sharon?
That's the title of the class that I teach, yes.
And what planet are you from? Where did you come up with that?
Well, I feel like I'm from another planet as well. And I noticed over the years, just doing the metaphysical stuff that I do, that a lot of people do not feel they're from Earth, or they feel they've also been from another planet, and they feel somewhat, I don't know, disconnected to Earth in a way, and they have a longing maybe to be somewhere else, what they would call their home. So I decided to try to figure out how to help people find out where they're from. So I developed this class, which only covers, I think there's maybe 6 or 8 different planetary people that we discuss, and then they can kind of see if they fit into any of those.
Well, what made you think you're not from this planet?
It's a tough thing to really explain if you haven't experienced it, but there's just this feeling of an otherness within you. I mean, I feel like I'm a human and I'm of planet Earth. Yes, I do feel that. But at the same time, there's this part of me that feels like there's more to me, there's more to you, to other people. And what is that? And for me, that journey led to a feeling and a knowing that I feel like my consciousness is from another planet.
When you said that, it made me think of something, because a lot of metaphysical people believe that you're only part of who you are in the physical, but your higher self is in another dimension. Could that be part of what you're feeling, or is that something completely different?
I think it could be D, all of the above. I think it's not a one-size-fits-all. I think it's a fairly complicated subject. So you do have to do the work, the investigating, looking at information, and then decide for yourself what it is for you.
You know, I don't think I feel like I'm from another planet, but I think I know what you're talking about, because out of college I got a job in Germany, and I'd never been there before. And when I went to Germany, I said, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm home. And then I've lived in different states, well, 3 different states, and the one that feels most home to me is Oregon. So when my husband got transferred to another state, I couldn't wait to get back to the Northwest. So there are places in the world that I feel more at home, but on the planet. But sometimes I get discouraged with, most people are good, I've said that before in my shows, but I get discouraged with what's happening in our country and other countries, and it makes me almost wish that I were from another planet.
Well, I would venture to say other planets have their own issues or struggles or challenges as well. I don't think it's necessarily it's greener on the other side kind of thing, but it's more of just a knowing and a feeling. Like I said, Earth is my home too. But I also feel like I have another home that's not on Earth.
Do you feel like it's this lifetime or a previous lifetime? How do you associate with it? Do you think you came and you were brought here to Earth in this lifetime, or you've had other experiences in other lifetimes in another place?
Again, I have to say D, all of the above. I do think past lives can be a part of it. I feel, we've discussed before, I feel like I'm a walk-in, so I feel like I've chosen to be here. So I'm very comfortable about being here. I don't have that feeling of get me off of here, I can't stand it, I want to go home, which is what a lot of people do feel. That actually makes me kind of sad. So I feel like I chose to be here, I'm happy to be here, and yes, I do feel there's a service or a purpose for that choosing,
For people who didn't see the other interview yet, or won't get to see it, could you just describe once briefly what a walk-in is?
Well, again, that's subject to how you believe, because if you look this up, there'll be lots of different beliefs about it. My experience was being like around, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5, I don't know how old I was, but young. leaning more towards a 3. I feel like a presence came to me and spoke to me, and at that moment I felt this presence, so to speak, not displace Earth me, like some people believe, but became a part of Earth me. So it's
two of you.
Sort of. It's, to me, Earth is a symbiotic relationship anyway. You have, so it's more of a symbiosis. So Earth people have a human body. Without your consciousness in your body, that human body is dead. It doesn't live, right? Your consciousness, if it's not in a human body, it's not in this reality. So there's this symbiosis to me that happens in order to be in this dimension and maybe even completely on planet Earth. So to me, it's more of a joining.
So the people that come to your class, I was going to ask you, what are the signs that they notice that they think they're from another planet? What do they say to you? I just feel uncomfortable.
A lot of them are sad. A lot of them feel like their childhood up to, I mean, I've talked to people at different ages, adults, that have felt they've just not belonged. They feel like they just can't relate to other people. And here's the big one. A lot of people can't relate to them.
They're different.
They're just different. And they can't rectify it. They can't, find what is that a lot of times.
Could be a number of things, though. It depends on what family you're growing up in. You might be growing up in a very dysfunctional family.
Yes, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
I'm open to, I'm not going to disregard anything or say that doesn't make sense, because everything makes sense to me if you think about it. In fact, when you want to go back in history, the pyramids, they say where the pyramids come from, think about history, and Stonehenge.
Yeah, they can't explain it. We think they've explained it, but if you notice over the years it changes and shifts.
Yeah, it was supposed to be some celestial thing, I think, or some calendar, I don't know. I could be wrong. And then there's the ancient civilizations of Lemuria and Atlantis, where they were way, way advanced in civilizations, and then they disappeared. I mean, that gives you pause to think, right?
It does. It does,
really
yes,
does.
for sure.
And then I love some of the movies, too. Like one of my favorites is an old movie with Michael Rennie, The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, I love that, yeah.
I love the message. They come down, they said, hey, all this nuclear war, you're destroying the world. You're going to, disrupt our worlds, too. Cut it out.
To displace that, honoring that, knowing that maybe it's a benevolency that comes from other planets. You've got the Twilight Zone that had, I can't remember, it's called The Cookbook, I think, where these aliens came, were very kind and whatnot, and so people decide
they're going to serve you.
Yeah, it came to serve you. That's what it was.
I remember that.
So there's a lot of fear.
Yes.
So about that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was going to talk about two shows from other planets. One was wonderful. It's one of my favorite. I'm always in tears. One was Alien. I can't watch it. Sigourney Weaver, I think. I cannot watch it. But the one I love and I always cry is E.T. I mean, I want to believe that most aliens are like, E.T. looked like a gray. And just the loving heart. And I love the way that the Earthling connected with the extraterrestrial. Saying that we're all, like we said, we're all human, but we're all creations, I guess.
Yes, we're all stardust.
We're all stardust.
Yeah.
Now, there's something called, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I like that because of the way they communicated.
It was interesting with music.
The music,
the sound.
Music and math, I guess, because music is mathematical, the notes and everything.
Yeah.
There's some really great movies out there, and even though they're science fiction, you wonder.
You do. Where did that idea come from?
Where did that idea come from? Anyway, so the people that come to your class, how long is the class?
I've designed it to just be, it's either 2 or 3 hours. It's probably, I think it's around 2.5 hours, give or take.
So just one class?
Just one class. We humans, we don't have a lot of patience, or we sit there and get
we're only doing like a 15, 20-minute interview here.
I know.
I'm not sure how long we've gone so far.
Yeah.
We're bringing close to the end. But I wanted to ask you, so you said some of the reasons people think they're from another planet is because they're sad. Is there another reason? They're different, they don't belong?
Well, they feel that something's wrong with them.
Mm-hmm. Now, that could be anything, like we said. That could be anything.
Yeah.
Maybe on medication. I don't know.
Well, but a lot of people, in amongst all those feelings, do feel like I've had them say, I just feel like I'm not from here. They have this kind of innate knowing, so to speak.
Were any of them ever alien abducted? Or seen aliens at their bedside?
Well, in a 2.5-hour class.
Oh, you don't talk about that?
No, I don't talk about that because the class is designed to help you find out who you are and make peace with that and kind of fill that blank that's in your life. So do people feel satisfied? Not to criticize or compliment you, but do people feel satisfied once they're... So far. Oh, that's good. So what planet are you from? I saw that on the meetups, and I said, oh gosh. So I tried to find you because I really wanted to interview you on this. I thought that's fascinating. So that's nice. You can help people at least, you know. Yeah, it really answered some questions for a number of them. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Was there any one, well, you don't have to mention names, outstanding that you can remember that came to your class and had a feeling about something? And well, you know, a lot of times people come in with a preconceived idea of I'm a Palladian or, you know, I'm this or that. And one person in particular, because I do discuss some of the ones that are considered somewhat negative, like Reptilian or Greys. So I bring that up as well. But they have good and bad. I've read good and bad. Yeah, but, you know, I don't like to look in terms of good and bad. It just is. Yeah, okay. So you just kind of have to make peace with that. I believe I've had a reptilian existence, for example. And one person, and I share that, as well as my other lineage as well. And one person in particular came in, you know, and took the class, and we discussed afterwards if anybody wants to say what they feel they are. And this one person, he was so surprised. It was kind of cool and funny, and it was just awesome. He said that because we do meditation, he said he felt that he could see his reptilian side of himself. But to him, in the information that I've shared, it explained some personality traits that he has, and it just answered some questions for him. I don't know fully what it answered for him because we have just, you know, a few minutes of people wanting to talk, but he was just, he was kind of in amazement in a way. It's interesting. It was very interesting. I'm wondering, I'm not being facetious or funny, but I wonder if you ever had people in the class that recognized each other from another place. That's happened a little bit, yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Ah, interesting. Yeah. Do we want to end on any kind of interesting note? I think we covered it pretty much on the surface. I guess I would just like to see, don't be afraid of who you are. Come to know yourself fully. If you want to think in terms of good and bad, fine, but just think of it in terms of who you are and just accept what is. I was going to say, that's a great word, accept yourself for who you are. Accept yourself. And love yourself. Yeah. Thank you so absolutely. Much. It was so much fun to interview. We're going to do another one, you know. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for watching another edition of Pauline Interviews. And if you like the show, please subscribe. We'd love to have you subscribe, and we'll let you know what other shows we're doing. And please tell your friends about us. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And also, I wanted to add one thing to this show. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover for you, anything metaphysical, alternative healing, anything interesting you think is interesting, please email me, and I will get back to you, and I will consider your suggestions. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.